Hey, hot ones, welcome to another vulnerable episode of What It Do Wednesdays. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to watch Unprisoned on Hulu. It's on Hulu, streaming now, with Kerry Washington and Delroy Lindo. And if you haven't, go ahead and check it out. I think it's awesome. I enjoyed it. I watched it in one day. I watched all the episodes in one day, so it was great. That's kind of what I want to talk about. My father is currently serving 40 years in prison for murder, and I don't know if he will ever get out. When I speak to him, he says that he's doing what he can, of course, to fight his case and things like that. So I wish him the best. I wish him the best in the outcome. I just recently Googled his name, and what popped up, it said jury orders 40 years for man who stabbed girlfriend during fight over Colt 45 consumption. And that's what the headline says. They always want to grab you, and I'm just like, wow. um, I didn't really have a good relationship with my father growing up. He was not really in my life a lot, and things like that. So I did know the woman that he murdered, Miss Joyce. We went to school together at St. Philip's College, which is located in San Antonio, Texas. And so there's a many facets to this story, and it's a lot. So for me, I'm kind of on both sides of it. Like, you're my biological father. I wish you the best. But I did know Miss Joyce, and we have become friends. So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it is what it is. It's a part of life. So um, I met Miss Joyce at school, and we had a class together, student development class, with Diane Hester. She was our professor, and she gave us an assignment to. We had to handwrite an assignment, and Miss Joyce had a stroke some years before, and so she couldn't use her writing hand, and things like that. And she really inspired me when I saw her walking around campus and things like that. So I love a good underdog story, and she kind of motivated me, like I said. And when I saw her walking around campus, and I thought to myself, if Miss Joyce can do it, I can do it too. I shouldn't have any excuses. So when we had the assignment, she asked me if I didn't mind writing down, the information for her. And I said, sure, of course, no problem. I let her know what my schedule was. We worked out a schedule. We worked out a location to meet, and we worked out a time, And so it was a study room in the library. And when I came into the library, she was there waiting for me. She was ready to get the assignment taken care of, because, as you know, there's other people that will ask you for help, but they won't take the initiative to be there and follow through. They won't follow through. And so Miss Joyce followed through, and I helped her with her assignment, and she was very appreciative. So we hung out together after that, and that's how she came to church with me, I believe. I know that she came to my church used to have a volleyball team, and we used to play other churches at the Boys and Girls Club on the east side. So on Martin Luther King, I believe it's located there on Martin Luther King. And so we used to go there and play, and so she came a couple of times, and that's how she ended up meeting my father. So they became close, and I guess they wanted to be in a relationship. Now, mind you, me knowing Miss Joyce, how I knew Miss Joyce, and me knowing my biological father, I told both of them. I told each of them, Miss Joyce, you leave Carlos alone. Carlos, you leave Miss Joyce alone. So they're grown, though. They let me know that they they're grown because they were older than me. You know what I mean? They're older than me. So I said, okay. Um, but I was just coming from the vantage point of having some degree of knowing both of them. You know what I mean? And so, anywho, I was, when I was at St. Philip's College, I was a cheerleader. And so I was driving down Walters because I lived, over there by Fort Sam Base. And driving down Walters, and I saw all these police cars, and when you see police cars and stuff like that, you're like, well, I wonder what they're doing, you know what I mean? And all these lights, I wonder what's going on over there. So I had, went on to practice and everything like that, and came home. I don't remember what day it was. Knowing Miss Joyce, she was involved in a church down. It was close by downtown. Awesome. They had a food bank. They had clothes. They helped with I think, electricity and water bill and things like that. And so Miss Joyce was kind enough to integrate me into that part of her life as well. I enjoy volunteering, so she invited me to come and volunteer um, at the church. I think it was Tuesdays. I'm not quite sure, or the first Tuesday. Can't remember. But anyway, go down to the church and volunteer and help. And my part that I helped in was the intake process. Getting the information and things like that from the individuals that came for assistance. So, and I enjoyed it. So, needless to say, Miss Joyce and I have fell out, and not because she was dating my dad. We have fell out. There's some lighting in my window. We have in my eyes. We have fell out because, again, I don't have a good relationship with my biological father, and she would, in the morning time, she would drop him off at my house unbeknownst to me, and I didn't like that. I think I had a 7 o'clock math class at the time. The professor and I had worked it out because I was on cheerleading and so on and so forth with practice. And so I was very thankful for that. So I would go to class and then I would come back because my next class was a little bit later. So I would come home. And so when I would come home, he would be sitting on my steps and things like that. And I'm not expecting it, So I'm like, okay. So I sat down and I talked to Miss Joyce and I asked her to please, if you don't call me, if you don't talk to me and hear me say, drop my dad off, do not bring my dad to my house. So a few times she still dropped him off. When I came from school, he was there, and I was like, you know what? Boundaries broken. So we kind of coexisted, but we weren't as close as we were, unfortunately, before my dad got into the picture. Go figure, right? But so anyways, I go down to the this was after Miss Joyce had passed away and was killed. I'll say it was after Miss Joyce was killed by my dad. Go to the volunteer because I enjoy doing it. So I go to volunteer, and I can't remember the lady's name. She was kind of cantankerous, like she had the nonchalant attitude, like, what you doing here, and she asked me about Miss Joyce. Did I know Miss Joyce was dead? I said, what? I don't know why this phone is ringing. I hope it's still recording. This new technology I have on Do Not Disturb. So anyway, I'm trying to wait to see if it's still recording, because I don't know if it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So anyway, she proceeds to tell me that Miss Joyce is dead. I'm like, girl, what is you talking about? And then she I said, what happened? I'm asking what happened. Whew. And she say that my dad, your dad killed her. What? Now, girl, what you talking about? I still stayed and volunteered, but the whole time I was just really taken aback, just really taken aback by the whole situation, because Miss Joyce, she really was a lovely lady, you know what I'm saying? And just to lose your life, at somebody else's hands, it's ridiculous, especially the situation being my dad. He say, he goes through the process of trying to tell me that it wasn't him and this like that, just this, that, and the third, it's still very hurtful. Another thing which was, very hurtful as well, because we had went to the same school, and people just, because of the situation, people just looking at you, looking at me differently. Sometimes I refer to myself in third person, so forgive me. Just looking at me differently and things like that, and I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't worry about it. I know when you know the truth, you don't worry about it. It's just it was just hurtful because, again, Miss Joyce was a good person, and my dad, again, he wasn't really in my life, so a lot, he in and out, in and out, in and out, you know what I mean? So no real relationship or things like that. So anyway, I don't even know if I mentioned it. I probably did mention it. So it's a lot. So, Unprisoned is the young lady, her dad gets out of prison. So she has the opportunity to try to get reacclimated with her dad. You know what I mean? Again, as you heard me read the headline about my dad serving 40 years for murder of Miss Joyce. I think he was about 59 or 60 years old when he went in. And I often think about the possibility of him passing away in prison. Not ever getting out. Not ever getting out of prison. I often think about that being another part of my life, another story of my life that, hey, I have to bury my dad in prison, or however that works. I don't even know how it works, but, just to, it's a sad situation to be buried as a number. You know what I mean? Just be buried as a number. So control your emotions. That's all I can say. Just try to. Again, it's a very hurtful situation for all parties involved. Miss Joyce family, and church, and people that knew Miss Joyce. They lost Miss Joyce, or I should say we. And then also with my dad going to prison for it, and you can read it up in the SA Times. I think it happened back in 2015. It happened in 2013. The news article said, but I think it was 2015, if I'm not mistaken, that he was sentenced in the court system and all that, things like that. So there's been a few times when I went to go visit my dad, send my dad some money, talk with my dad on the phone and things like that. Wrote my dad some letters and things like that. Just I'm on both sides of the situation, so I just yeah, I can't even really just think about it. But anyway, I don't want to be mumbling. Again, the series is called Unprisoned. It's on Hulu, with Kerry Washington and Delroy. If you know any of them and you pass a video along, I would love to sit down and talk with them. I just wanted to kind of share, again, me being vulnerable, share a little bit about my life. It's a special life, as I stated before. Sugar honey iced tea is real. Sugar honey iced tea is real. Um, Again, my dad is currently serving 40 years for the murder of my friend, Miss Joyce. I don't know if my dad will ever get out. He said he's doing his thing in prison, as far as appealing and whatever the stuff that they do. Again, I'm not too versed in that. I do know that when my dad was downtown in 200 North Comal Street, I believe, was downtown, and I went to go visit him down there. It was a no-go for me. I know that when I remember, I don't even know if I took the bus or whatever. Anyways, I know I was walking down Walter Street, and I had to sit down across from Antioch Church. I think it was like this little brick area, and I just sat down, and I was just hyperventilating because I just grieve for the families who have lost people, and I grieve for the families who have people in prison, because when you have people in prison, you serving time too. And let me tell you something, it is not good at all. At all. So, but it is a part of life. It's a part of my life. You know what I mean? So, and nobody's immune from it. So I just, again, I pray that we all just try to live our best lives and keep cool heads and things like that. Because, to be 59 or so and have a headline written about you, that be your headline, that you serving 40 years in prison over the consumption of a Colt 45. It's a no for me. So, Anyway, one of the times that I went to go visit my dad in prison, we took a picture, and that's a process in itself, having to have change, and it's just too much. It's just too much, you know what I mean? And I just don't wish it on anybody. So one of the times that I was there visiting my dad, we took a picture and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna show you all this picture. Again, it's a testament of wasting talent as well, because the picture is so beautiful, and he paid one of the prisoners in there to do it. However their barter system is, I have no idea, and I'm not trying to find out. And so he sent, this is the second picture. He said the first one was in color, but he didn't have enough postage, so it didn't reach me. But he enjoyed the picture, so he got me another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and show the picture. This is the picture. And as you can see, the detail and everything like that. The artist did it with pencil. And so yeah, so that's the picture that came in the mail for my dad. And again, it's a nice picture. I really like it and stuff like that. Again, I'm not gonna make the video too long. I just again want to be vulnerable, let you know that I have a lot going on, y'all. I'm not immune to it. Just like everybody else, I go through stuff as well. So I'll be keeping you guys abreast of more things to come. I hope you enjoyed this episode of What to Do Wednesdays. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video if you like the video. Hopefully have conversation with your family and how y'all feeling if y'all have a family member in prison, and because again it affects everybody in different circumstances, and just try to stay close if you can. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed the picture. I do hope to one day go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere and get a frame and things like that. Find a frame for it. It's done in pencil. So my dad was saying something about spread with some spritz. If y'all know anything about taking care of pictures like this that were done in pencil, drop down in the comments and please share, because again, like I said, all this is new to me, and so I'm just I can't even, it's been some years since my dad's been in prison, you know what I mean? And again, we never really had a relationship, but it's never too late. It's never too late. So I'm taking baby steps. I'm not jumping and taking leaps and all this and that. My dad wants me to get my phone hooked up because he wants to be able to call me. And I tell him in due season, I'm going to do it. Just give me time. I said I'm going to have my sister show me how to do it and this and that. But it takes time. It's a process. It's a process. And I'm going through the process. So I'm not trying to rush it or anything like that. I'm just trying to take my time and trying to continue to heal and grow. Heal and grow, and that's what I can do. So again, thank y'all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the picture like I do, and I wish you all the best. All right, peace.